Dr. Jones checking in. This is A&P 1 Lab Test 1, the microscope video rewind, repeat, re-record. The first time I recorded it in person with actual microscopes, and it somehow went slow-mo. I don't know. So here we are with pictures of the microscopes. So I did get out my, and it's doesn't appear to be working. I did change the batteries in it recently. I even stole my husband's Apple Pen to see if that would work with it, and that doesn't seem to be happening. So so I am going to be writing on the screen with you know, the mouse. So I apologize. Okay, so we need to know these structures right here. That was not the pen. Pen color red, still an automatic though. Okay, pen. There we go. Okay, these are the ocular lenses. And ocular has one C. O-C-U-L-A-R, ocular lens. And it's lens, or if you want to use the plural, lenses. In no way, shape, or form is this ever acceptable. Lens does not have an E on the end, and lenses has the E-S on the end. So if you're taking this in person, that extra E is within a letter for my grading, that's still credit. But on the Canvas, it does have to be, if you're taking the lab test on Canvas, it does have to be spelled correctly to the letter to get full credit. So if you put the L-E-N-S-E, you will not get full credit. The Canvas will tag it as wrong because we only typed in the correct spellings, mostly. I think I've caught all the misspellings, but anyway, so either one ocular, and you'll be typing, so it'll look like actual words, ocular lens, or two ocular lens as. And generally in English, to make something plural, you'll either add the S or the ES. If it adds a syllable, then it's an ES. So we've got lens as, a little syllable break there. So you know it's an ES, whereas like tables, it didn't add a syllable. Table was two syllables, tables still two syllables, so it's just an S, as opposed to like dance as, which is an ES. Oh, that already had me. That's a terrible example. Okay, moving on. So these round bits here where you put your eyepeeps are the ocular lenses. Ocular means eyeball. And then these behind them are the body tubes. Body tubes. There you go. And this giant chunk here is the head. And then this part, and on some of them it's round, and this one's got more of an elbow. This is the arm. And the base is the part sitting on the table. And again, I know my handwriting is terrible. It's both doctor's handwriting and writing with a mouse. So yeah, sorry. Okay. So this piece right here is the rotating nose piece. It rotates. Piece. And it's piece like a piece of it, not peace on earth. Piece. It's a different spelling. I before E, except after C. Unless you have a weird neighbor named Keith who insists on science. Okay, so the rotating nose piece rotates, and it does have these little textury nubby bits so that you can, you know, rotate it. And from the rotating nose piece are the objective lenses. And again, one lens or two lenses. Actually, there's three, but anyway, there's no E on the end of lens. And these are objective. They magnify. The ocular lenses magnify by 10, as you can see here, 10 times. This is the low-powered objective lens. I think it's a 4. The yellow is a 10. I forget what the blue one is. The blue one is more than 10. Lenses. Okay, so the thing about the objective lenses, oh, and these will multiply. So that's 40 times, 100 times, and more than 100 times magnified. No, I can't read it. All right. So what you do not do when you want to go to a higher or lower power is you do not grab these objective lenses and then yank, okay? Because they are delicate and these things are both heavy, unwieldy, and expensive. And so when you do want to change objective lenses, you rotate the rotating nose piece. Here, not here. Gentle with the expensive equipment. Okay. All right, so the black part here is the stage, and if you've ever been on stage, the stage is always painted black. Stage. And then on top of the stage is a silver part, and that's the mechanical stage. And the mechanical stage holds your slide. E-C-H-A-N-I-C-A-L, mechanical stage. Got it. Okay. Next, the mechanical stage controls, going this way. So this rod has two pieces on it that rotate. One of them will technically move the stage and one of them will move the mechanical stage. So between these two knobs, you can make this move back and forth and then the stage move left and right. But together they're called the mechanical stage controls, even though they control both the stage and the mechanical stage. Now I have to spell mechanical again. E-C-H-A-N-I-C-A-L. I'm an oral learner. I learn by hearing, and so when I'm trying to remember spelling, I have to hear it out loud. So, mechanical stage control. Excellent. That little knobby there is the iris diaphragm lever, and that is the condenser knob, which I think we have a better picture on another slide where I will have room to label those. And this is where the light comes out, so that's the substage light. Again, I will label those further on another slide where you can well, have it all spelled out for you. And this is the light control. It controls the light. Okay, so when we put these away, we will have this. There's a tiny little thing that sticks out at the bottom of the base. And when we put it away facing the one or all the way down so that the light is off. When we turn it back on, it's supposed to help those light bulbs last longer if they're turned all the way down when you flip the switch to turn it on. Now, most of your specimens, you will have it turned to straight up right here at 3.5. And most of the things you're looking at on the microscope will be visible here. There are a few that are lighter that you will want to turn the light down, and a few that are darker or thicker that you will want to turn the light up. But straight up is the best place to start and adjust from there. And again, you will turn it all the way down when you put the microscope away. Okay. And if you have it all the way up, you're going to burn your retinas out. And if I won't even look in them because I can see how bright it is here, because that will give me a migraine. So. And power switch, that's the off-on bit. Power switch. And then major tom to light control. And then this here are actually two different knobs. So this bigger, wider knob, here, is the coarse focus knob or coarse adjustment knob, but you do need 3 words there. You can go coarse focus knob, full credit, coarse adjustment knob, full credit. But if you don't have 3 words, either set of 3 words, then that will not be full. There's weird noises outside. Okay. What was that? Course O-A-R-S-E. I'm going to do focus because I think I can fit it on this line. Focus knob. And then this smaller one is the fine focus knob. Focus knob, or fine adjustment knob, either way. So this is the majority of what you need to know. So to use the microscope, what you will do is, I'm pointing at the picture with my finger, put the slide right here flat in the mechanical stage, flat on the stage, and use the mechanical stage controls to move the stage and the mechanical stage until the specimen is centered over the substage light, directly between the objective lens and the substage light. Because of course, if the light is coming up here and what you're seeing it through is right here, if your specimen's way up here or way down here, you're not going to see it, right? Like, where's the screen? Well, you got to look at the screen, so line it up. So line your specimen up in the visual axis, but we'll do that next semester. So line your specimen up between the light and the objective lens, and then you will start with the stage all the way down, and then use the coarse focus knob to slowly turn that to move the stage up until you can sort of see what specimen you're looking at. And you can tell, looking just at the slide in the light, if the specimen's going to be pink or blue or purple or, excuse me, effectively what color you're looking for. And so you rotate this coarse adjustment knob to move the stage up until you can see the color that you're looking for. And then you switch to the fine focus knob, which moves the stage up and down much more slowly. And so then you'll move the fine focus knob and that stage will move up very slowly until your specimen is in focus. And sometimes I get the question, how do you know it's in focus? Well, you don't. So what I do is I will use the fine focus knob and roll it down slowly until the specimen blurs out. And then roll it back up slowly until the specimen blurs out again. And so then I know that in the middle there, I have seen the best focus for this slide for this machine for whether or not I have my glasses with me that day. Okay, so then you roll it back down till you're in about the best focus you remember seeing. So that's my trick. Now, sometimes I get the question, well, why don't we just start with the stage in the middle? Why do we have to start with the stage all the way down? So let me ask you this. If the stage is in the middle and it's not in focus, do you need to move up or do you need to move down? Right? How are you going to know? You're going to move up? Oh, it should be down. No. And then you're like, no. Started with it either all the way up or all the way down. And there's a reason why we don't start with it all the way up. Because especially with some of these slides, depending on how the microscope is set, I saw my husband out the window. He's about to use the weed eater. So if you can hear that starting up, I apologize. We're making the video though. In some cases, there's so little space between the objective lens and the slide that you can actually crack the slides. So, and the slides are glass, so they're fragile. It's in lab, the most dangerous thing we do is break the microscope slides. So you want the stage all the way down so that you have lots of room between the microscope slide and the objective lens to move the microscope slide around, put it in, and then take it out when you're done. So always start with the stage all the way down and the red low-powered objective lens forward, which is this position. So this gives you the most space. The blue one comes down quite a bit lower, and you have a whole lot less space to move that fragile little glass thing. Now maybe y'all are less klutzy than I am. I tend to be very careful with my movements, but I'm still, I don't think we've had this conversation yet. I didn't know I was a klutz until I met my husband. Because in my family, people trip over their own feet / air molecules, and food lands on shirts, and it's drinks spill, and that's just part of life, and you clean it up and you move on. My husband, for being 6'6", has this natural grace where, like, if he gets something on his shirt, I'm like, you got something on your shirt, because it's like write it on the calendar, because it just doesn't happen very often. And he like never trips, and it's weird. So some people just have that motor control that doesn't run in my family, I guess. So okay. All right, so we finished this picture. Let's skip to the next picture, and there's all the same stuff. So what were these? The ocular lenses. And then this body tube. And that is the head. Rotating nose piece. Now here on the lab test, they are never going to ask you which objective lens. The red low-powered objective lens is not the right answer here. Objective lens is what you need, regardless of which objective lens it is. Silver bit, mechanical stage, and then that tiny, there's a little plastic lever that moves back and forth there. There's inside, there's an iris. It's a bunch of plates of metal, and then when you move that slide, they close down to make a smaller aperture for the light to come through, a smaller opening for the light to come through, and then you'll have a little bitty round circle of light. So when you go to look in the scope and you only have a tiny little circle of light, that's the problem. And then you slide this open, and then that opens that aperture, and then you have a larger circle of light. It affects the focus. And then this is, okay, so that's the iris diaphragm lever. And then that's the knob for the condenser. These both are knobs for the condenser. The condenser is inside there. The iris diaphragm is inside. You can't see it, but you control it with a little plastic lever. The condenser knobs are silver. And then this is the substage light, where the light comes through. Here is your, it's going to the white over the offside, power switch. And that one, coarse adjustment knob, the cake. Okay. Without the silent E, it makes a big difference. And this is the fine adjustment knob, the FAC. Yeah, okay. And then these together are the mechanical stage controls. You got it. Oh, and base. Oops. Poop. I have an erase. Just a second. Let me find it. Boom. That didn't work. There we go. It worked. Let me go back to pen. Arm. There you go. Next slide. Oh, hello. Okay, so this is the Ocular Lens, and this is the body tube. So on this left ocular lens, you can actually adjust the focus. So when you get on a new microscope, you actually want to focus in the right ocular lens, and then this left ocular, I'm pointing at the screen again, this left ocular lens, you can actually rotate it to bring it into focus for your left eye. So you can focus the left and right eye separately. Now the right eye doesn't change focus on the ocular lens, so you need to focus the whole microscope on your right eye. And then if the left eye is different, then you can rotate this bit on the left ocular lens. So that's how that works. Oh, here is the iris diaphragm lever and the condenser knob. And this is the substage light. It's substage because sub means under, and it's under the stage. So it's the substage, under the stage. It's like a sub-basement is under the basement. Y'all are from Texas, you don't know what I'm talking about. So basements are like a whole nother floor of your house that's under your house. It's for the storage of boxes. Like, I moved down here and I was like, why do my boxes not fit anywhere? It's because there's no basements. And now I don't keep boxes because there's nowhere to keep boxes because there's no basements. Okay, so what is this? And this. They're the same structure, just on the separate sides. Coarse adjustment knob. And then this one is the fine adjustment knob. Same with here. Coarse adjustment knob. Fine adjustment knob. The abbreviations are for no credit on the lab test. Every single word needs to be spelled out and spelled correctly. Okay. Next slide. That's the same thing. Okay, so here you can actually see the iris diaphragm lever because it's to the side instead of coming straight out at you. Iris diaphragm lever. And still a condenser knob. Knob is a N with a K. Excuse me, this is still the substage light. Okay. Ooh, here's a better picture of the mechanical stage and the stage. So to put the slide in, you see how there's a little hinge here and a little knob and a little lever here. So when you push that back, it opens this up. And then you put the stage, the slide right here. Actually, it'd be bigger than that. Yeah, it would. It'd be like this. So you put the slide right here, and the specimen is usually right in the center. And so you have to, again, move the knob to move this out of the way, and then this is kind of spring-loaded, and so it holds the stage in place, and the slide holds the slide in place on the stage. The slide does need to be flat on the stage, not on the mechanical stage. It needs to be held in place by the mechanical stage. And then you see how our specimen here is not lined up, so we will use the mechanical stage controls to move the specimen over the light, or you won't see jack squat because there's no specimen there to see. And some of the specimens, especially at the very beginning of the class, are really faint, like little pink circles that you can barely see with the naked eye. And so what I like to do is hold them up to the light in the room and find exactly where they are so that I can line them up with the substage light. Okay. Oh, there we go. End of slideshow. All right. No. Okay. All right. Cool. Well, that was apparently all that we needed to cover of the microscopes. So thank you as always for tuning in. This has been A&P 1, Lab Test 1, the microscope re-record. So as we know, the education must go on. Dr. J out. Okay, now I have to find the command and then control and then escape.